At 11:46 p.m., your phone vibrates beside the laptop. A notification appears on the screen. You do not touch it immediately. For 11 seconds, you simply stare, because somewhere behind that notification is the answer to a question that has followed you for months. Can money reach you through a path you created yourself? 12 weeks earlier, you come home exhausted from a job you hate. Your feet hurt. Your back feels tight. And before you even close the front door, you already feel tomorrow waiting behind you. The same alarm, the same traffic, the same building, the same people asking you to work faster for a life that does not seem to be moving anywhere. You drop your keys on the table. You remove your shoes without untying them. You do not switch on the main light. You already know you will need to wake up and put everything back on again. Then you check your bank account. You already know what the number will look like. But you check anyway, because some part of you is still hoping money has appeared while you were not looking. It has not. Your salary arrived 4 days ago. Most of it is already gone. Rent, food, transport, a subscription you forgot to cancel, a payment you promised yourself would be the last one. You look at the remaining balance. Then you calculate how many hours of your life that number represents. Not money, hours. Mornings you did not want to wake up. Lunches eaten too quickly. Evenings you were too tired to use. That is when the thought returns. The same thought that has been following you for months. There has to be another way. Not a lottery ticket, not a miracle, just another way to earn something outside your job. Something that belongs to you. You heat whatever is left in the refrigerator. Then you sit in front of your phone and type 4 words into the search bar. Make money online. Thousands of videos appear. Teenagers beside expensive cars, payment screenshots. $500 a day. No experience required. Passive income. Drop shipping. Affiliate marketing, artificial intelligence, trading, content creation. Every thumbnail says it is simple. Every title says you are already late. 2 hours later, you understand less than when you started. You do not have a business. You do not have an audience. You do not have thousands of dollars to invest. You do not even know what you would sell. You only know you cannot keep living with one source of income. That night, you find 20 different doors. And instead of choosing one, you try to open all of them. On Monday, you decide to start drop shipping. You research products, suppliers, and advertising. You create an account, you choose a store name, then you spend 3 hours changing the logo. By Wednesday, affiliate marketing feels like the answer. By Friday, faceless videos feel like the answer. Every new idea gives you the excitement of beginning without forcing you to experience the discomfort of continuing. On Sunday, you download a trading application. You place a small amount of money into something you barely understand because a stranger online says the price is about to explode. The price falls. You delete the application. 2 weeks pass. You have opened accounts on 6 platforms. You have saved 73 videos. You have made 4 unfinished logos. You have written 17 business ideas, and you have earned exactly nothing. The failure is not dramatic. That would almost be easier. It feels quiet, and it feels like sitting at your desk at 12:16 in the morning, surrounded by open tabs, wondering whether you are simply not the kind of person who succeeds. You close the laptop. You tell yourself you will try again tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next Monday. Next Monday becomes next month. And earning money online slowly changes from a possibility into another source of guilt. Then January arrives. New planners appear. Gyms become crowded. People announce goals they will forget by February. You feel the urgency too. A new year, another chance. Another promise that this time will be different. But the problem was never that you chose the wrong side hustle. The problem was that you never stayed with one long enough to become useful. You were searching for income before building value. The sentence that changes you does not come from a millionaire. It does not come from a viral video. It comes from a small creator with fewer subscribers than most channels you normally ignore. He says, your first online income does not need to be passive. It needs to be real. You pause the video, then you rewind it. You do not have a money-making machine. You do not have capital. You do not have an audience. But you have evenings after work. You have a laptop. You have internet access. And you have skills you have ignored because they feel ordinary. You can write clearly. You can organize information. You understand spreadsheets. You know basic design. You have edited a few videos. None of it makes you feel special, but a skill does not need to feel special. It only needs to be useful to someone else. You create a new document. At the top, you write 4 words: problem, skill, offer, person. First, the problem. Somebody needs something completed, improved, organized, designed, edited, researched, written, or explained. Money does not begin with the method. It begins with a problem another person wants removed. Second, the skill. You do not need to be the best in the world. You need to help someone who cannot do it, does not want to do it, or does not have time to do it. Third, the offer. Not, you do social media, but you turn one long video into 5 short clips. A customer cannot buy a vague skill. They need to understand the result. Fourth, the person. Not everyone. One real person with one real problem. A small creator who has ideas, but no time to turn every long video into short content. For the first time, making money online does not look like magic. It looks like a transaction. Someone has a problem. You provide a result. They pay you. Simple. Not easy, but real. The following evening, you choose one service, just one. You promise not to change it for 30 days. No new store, no trading, no new course, no searching for a better side hustle. Whenever the work becomes uncomfortable, you choose something you can already do reasonably well. You help small creators turn long videos into short, engaging clips. You are not an expert. Your edits are not cinematic. But you understand when attention disappears. And you are willing to improve. You spend the next 3 evenings creating examples. The first clip is terrible. The captions are too large. The pacing is unnatural. The music competes with the voice. You watch it once and feel embarrassed. Your cursor moves toward delete. Then it stops. Deleting the clip would protect your ego. Rebuilding it might improve your skill. You reopen the timeline. You reduce the captions. You remove unnecessary effects. You cut the silence. You place the strongest sentence at the beginning. The second version is better. The third sample looks almost professional, not exceptional, not viral, useful. For the first time, you have proof that you can produce something another person may actually want. You create a folder called Samples. Inside it are 3 clips. No customers, no testimonials, no experience you can brag about. But the folder exists. You have stopped preparing to prepare. You have made something. Then comes the part no motivational video made exciting. You have to contact people. You open a creator's page. Your cursor hovers over the message button. Suddenly, every insecurity you have becomes louder. You write a message. You delete it. You write another. It sounds desperate. You delete that too. You try to sound experienced. It sounds fake. You start again. Finally, you write 3 honest sentences. You mention a specific moment from the creator's video. You explain that you made a short sample from it, then you ask whether they would like to see it. No fake agency, no promises of millions of views, just something useful. Your finger rests on the trackpad. You imagine being ignored. You imagine being laughed at. You imagine being asked about experience you do not have. Then you click send. Nothing happens. You send another message. Nothing. Then another. Still nothing. Most people do not reject you. They simply continue living without knowing you exist. By message 10, the silence begins to feel personal. You start judging your work through replies that never came from people who may never have opened the message. You almost stop. At message 17, your phone vibrates. Sure, send it. 2 words, 1 sentence. Enough to change your heart rate. You open the sample 3 times before attaching it. You watch it again, searching for a mistake that was not there 30 seconds ago. Then you send the file. 15 minutes later, the creator replies, "This is actually good." The word "actually" bothers you for half a second. Then you read the message again, "This is good." Then another message arrives. "How much do you charge?" You have prepared the samples. You have prepared the message. You have prepared answers for rejection. You have prepared everything except the price. You search what other editors charge. $10, $50, hundreds. You compare yourself with professionals who have years of experience and your confidence disappears. You almost offer to work for free, but free work would not answer the question that brought you here. Can you create value somebody is willing to pay for? You type 5 short clips for $50. You stare at the number, then you send it. The creator does not reply. 1 minute passes, then 5, then 20. By the time you go to bed, the conversation has not moved. The next morning, you check your phone before turning off the alarm. Nothing. At work, you check again. Nothing. By lunch, you have already decided what the silence means. The price was too high. The work was not good enough. The opportunity is gone. You tell yourself it does not matter. But it matters, because the message was never only about $50. It was about whether another version of your life was possible. At 9:32 p.m., the reply arrives. "Could we try 1 clip first?" You answer immediately. $10 for 1 clip. The creator agrees. Then the creator asks, "Do you have a payment link?" You do not. You search how to create one. You make an account. You verify your details. You send the link as though this is something you have done 100 times. No payment arrives. An hour passes. You could wait. Instead, you begin editing. Not because working before payment is a good system, because tonight, you still have no system. You only have an opportunity you are afraid to lose. At 11:18 p.m., you finish the clip. You watch the first second, then the second. You remove one unnecessary pause. You adjust the opening again. At 11:35 p.m., the export begins. The progress bar moves slowly. 78%, 86, 94. You watch it as though effort alone can make it move faster. At 11:41 p.m., you watch the finished clip one final time. You know every cut, every caption, every sound. You still search for a reason not to send it. At 11:46 p.m., a message appears. "I sent $1 first to make sure the link works." Your phone vibrates beside the laptop. For 11 seconds, you do not touch it. You unlock the phone. The payment notification appears, $1. At 11:47 p.m., you earn your first dollar online. You stare at the screen. It is almost nothing. It cannot pay the rent. It cannot buy dinner. It cannot rescue you from your job. But that dollar does something your salary has never done. It proves that money can reach you through a path you created. No manager approved it. No annual review decided it. No company placed a limit on it. You found a person. You identified a problem. You created a solution. You take a screenshot. Not to post it, not to impress anyone. You save it because you know there will be nights when you need evidence. Evidence that the door opened once, evidence that it can open again. You send the finished clip. The creator approves it. The remaining $9 arrive. Your total online income is now $10. The number is still small. The possibility behind it is not the next morning nothing at work has changed. The fluorescent lights are still too bright. Your manager is still impatient. Your lunch still tastes like something eaten between obligations. But you have changed. There is now a secret in your pocket. That evening you send 20 more messages. Most receive no response. 2 people say no. 1 likes the work but cannot afford it. The silence still hurts. But it no longer proves that you cannot succeed. You create a simple spreadsheet. Messages sent, replies, customers, income. You stop measuring progress through motivation. You measure action. The first month you earn $80. Less than the videos promised, less than the screenshots online, less than anyone would call impressive, and exactly enough to tempt you to quit. One night you calculate your hourly income. You would have earned more working an extra shift. For a moment, the number destroys your enthusiasm. Why sacrifice your evenings for less money? Then you notice what the calculation ignores. At your job, 1 hour creates 1 hour of pay. Here, 1 hour can also create a template, a portfolio piece, a testimonial, a skill you will use again. You are not only earning, you are building. You create a rule. Every week, one part of the process must become easier. You build caption templates. You organize files. You define the number of revisions. You require part of the payment before starting. You stop saying, I edit videos. You begin saying, I turn each long video into 5 short clips, giving you a full week of content. The clearer the result becomes, the easier the price is to defend. By the 3rd month, you have 3 recurring customers. Your monthly side income reaches $420. It is not life-changing, but rent feels lighter. Groceries no longer feel like a mathematical emergency. Then one of your clips performs better than the creator's usual content. They recommend you to someone else. For the first time, a potential customer comes to you. They do not ask whether you are a beginner. They ask whether you have availability. You increase your price. Your hands shake when you send the proposal. The customer accepts, no negotiation, and you understand that people do not pay because you finally feel confident. Confidence often arrives after somebody pays. 6 months after your first dollar, you earn $100 in a single day. Not while sleeping, not automatically. You earn it because you built a skill, found a person, made an offer, and delivered a result. You reopen the screenshot from 11:47 p.m. The $1 payment now looks smaller than ever, but it feels more important than the 100. The 100 proves the process can grow. The first dollar proved the process was real. 1 year after that exhausted night, you sit at the same table. The apartment is mostly the same, the laptop is older, the chair still creaks whenever you lean back. But your financial life is no longer balanced on one salary. Your side income is not perfect. It is not guaranteed. But it is stable enough to let you breathe, stable enough to save, stable enough to imagine choices that once felt impossible. You once believed financial freedom meant never working again. Now you understand. Freedom means having more control over what you work on, who you work with, what you tolerate. It begins long before you become wealthy. It begins when dependence starts to loosen. Freedom rarely arrives as one enormous moment. Sometimes it arrives in pieces. The first bill paid with independent income. The first emergency that does not become a crisis. The first time you realize you have options. Maybe you are watching this from a room that feels too small for your ambition. Maybe your bank balance is low. Maybe you have no audience. Maybe you have tried 3 ideas and abandoned all of them. Then do not begin with the perfect business. Begin with the smallest real transaction. Choose one problem, choose one skill, create one clear offer, find one person. Do not ask how to reach $10,000 a month before somebody has paid you 10. Do not wait until you feel confident. Confidence usually arrives after evidence. And evidence begins with action. The version of you who changes your life does not begin under perfect conditions. That version begins tired, confused, with less time, less money, and less knowledge than feels fair. Then that version opens the laptop anyway. The clock reads 11:47 p.m. The room is silent. The world does not know your name. Nothing guarantees that this will work. You place your hands on the keyboard. One problem, one skill, one offer, one person. The first dollar is not the destination, it is the door. And tonight you open it. Start carving your own path and share your creativity with the world. Because somewhere out there, someone is waiting to discover what only you can create. Thank you for watching.